welcome back to my channel. My name is Taylor and I am so happy that you're here. As you can see by the title of the video or my thumbnail, then you will see that we are back with another Budget Diaries. I believe this is episode 7. I am filming this on July 17th, 2025. And today we are going to talk about my debt, y'all. I don't want to film this video. I don't. But this is going to be the first part of my debt testimony. You will see how much debt I have, and then later on, don't know when, but later on you will see that your girl will be debt free. Okay? So we can look back at this video and say, y'all, look at where she started. Look at this girl. Look at what God did. Yeah, that's why I'm filming this video. And maybe you all just need that encouragement to know that you are not alone. You're in the journey just like I'm in the journey, and we're going to get our debt paid off together. Okay, so this is a debt confession 2025. 2 years ago, I did not have consumer debt. I didn't have any credit card debt, any medical debt, any legal debt, any IRS debt, any affirmed debt. All I had was my car and student loans, so I was consumer debt free 2 years ago. Now I have debt, and I am finally ready to share it because it has been very hard to come to terms with as someone who likes to think that they are really, really good with managing their money. So I digress. Let's just go ahead and jump on into it. All right, y'all, we are going to get started with my credit card debt. I have 7 credit cards that carry a balance. And if I'm being completely honest, because y'all know I am very transparent with you all of these have not been paid. I think per my Credit Karma, my last payment to all of these was like 7 months ago. Yeah. So at this moment in time, all of these have been closed off, which means that these creditors are like, we're done with you, Taylor. We're just going to send it to someone else to take care of this because we see that you're not paying us back. And yes, it is very, 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 very bad, but I do not have the money to pay them. At one point, the minimum payment for all of these debts every month was over $1,000. And that is when I was a teacher, okay? I do not have that money. And if I'm being honest, we did not have that money. My husband and I did not have that amount to be pouring into debt when our finances were combined. So now that we are no longer together and it's just me and I am unemployed, I definitely do not have that money. Now, I was working with National Debt Relief. I was paying them $456 every month to help me lower these balances. Their job was to contact these creditors, compromise on a lower amount for me to pay them, and then these creditors were going to get that money from National Debt Relief. So I was paying National Debt Relief $457 every month, and they were helping me pay off these balances. I was with them for 6 months, and if I'm being completely honest, I did not see a huge change. The only debt that they were able to help me compromise on was Citibank. But after I quit my job and I could no longer contribute to National Debt Relief, now I am totally responsible for the actual amount that is due. When I do receive consistent income again, I will be calling them and compromising on a lower amount so that I can pay this off. But we are just not there yet. So with that being said, let's start with Old Navy. I owe $900. And remember, I mentioned that these are all closed off. So there's no more interest being added to these debts. This is the final amount before they go to collections. And this is the amount that I will have to pay. Or like I said, compromise on. Hopefully a lower amount. Target is actually $1,733. Citibank is $2,915. Discover is $1,000 $952. Capital One, I have one credit card with Capital One that is just personal and another one which is business. So the personal one is $5,194 and the other one is $5,831. And then I have another business credit card with TD Bank, which is $9,237. Now, most of this debt is from me purchasing products for Tailored Budgets that I just wasn't able to pay off because the amount that I put on credit is not the amount that I was able to receive in profit from my products. So what I thought was going to happen was I was going to put all of my Tailored Budget product purchases on credit, and then once the sales start rolling in, I'm going to pay off those credit cards, and then whatever I have left is going to go towards, myself, profit. But it didn't end up working that way. And of course, Target and Old Navy, that's clothes and miscellaneous items, right? And Citibank and Discover was, I think, if I'm being honest, it was a long time ago. So it was probably like last minute stuff for the wedding. If I'm being honest, we listen and we don't judge. We listen and we don't judge. I already did an update video on the mistakes I've made. So we're just gonna listen and not judge. So let's total up the amount for credit cards. I have 900 plus 1733 plus 2915 plus 1952 plus 5,194 plus 5831 plus 9237. So we have $27,762 in credit card debt. I have never had even close to this amount in credit card debt ever in my life. Like I mentioned, 2 years ago, I was credit card debt free. So this is very new to me and very uncomfortable. I would say embarrassing, but I'm not embarrassed because this is just the first part of my testimony of becoming debt free and really doing the darn thing and just doing what I can to pay this off and never being in the situation ever again. Next is my medical debt. I believe 2 videos ago I did a breakdown of my medical debt, but we're just going to fly by that for this video. If you want to see an in-depth video of my medical debt, I will leave that video link down below in my description. But hospital debt is $4,076, and that was from me giving birth to my son in February. Insurance is $1,134, and then an urgent care bill for my daughter is $173. Like I mentioned, I have gone through these thoroughly in a prior video. So $4,076 plus $1,134 plus $173. That's $5,383 in medical debt. Wrong color. If y'all hear Judah say hey in the comments, y'all know he is always up when I'm filming. I try to film when he's sleeping, but it doesn't always work out that way. So for this legal debt, back in January of 2024, my daughter's father decided that he wanted something. I don't want to say it just out of respect for the entire situation and the privacy, of course. He decided that he wanted something specific. Of course, I wanted the opposite. So since it was so serious, I decided, okay, I need to get a lawyer. So I paid $5,000 for that lawyer in cash, just from savings that I had. But ever since that initial $5,000, I have ranked up $3,882 in legal debt simply because I no longer have the cash to pay her. And of course, I don't not using any credit cards because of the debt I already have. Yes, she does know my situation of being unemployed now. Yes, she is still representing me. She is patiently waiting for me to get consistent income so that I can get on a payment plan with her. So I'm grateful that she's still representing me. I'm just upset that this legal situation is still going on because it's been 1.5 years now, and I'm pretty much over it. But like I mentioned, I can't do this without a lawyer because it is something serious. But like I mentioned, just for the privacy of everyone involved, I don't really want to talk about it. Next is my IRS debt, and this is for my 2023 business taxes, not personal. 2023 business taxes. It is in a total of $5,225, and that is what I pay $129 a month for right now. And that's probably the only debt other than a firm that I pay for currently, because I just don't want to mess with the IRS. If I'm being honest, like, I've never had any problems with them, and I don't want any problems with them. So we're just going to continue to pay that $129 until it's paid off, or I receive a lump sum of money and I pay it off. Now, like I mentioned, this is for 2023 Taylor Budget's business taxes. When I did file my 23 taxes, I didn't have the money stored up to pay it in full. I believe it was like $8,000. So I had to get on a payment plan with them. The year prior, for Taylor Budgets, which was 2022, I had enough deductions to where I didn't have to pay anything in taxes. I was able to keep, I think, $35,000 that I had stored for my taxes. I was able to keep it all to myself because my tax lady deducted so much, and I thought going into 2023 we were going to do the same. But it didn't end up working that way because I made less in 2023 than I did in 2022. So I did have to pay back the IRS $8,000 and so, and I have this amount left. Next, we have a firm, and total for a firm, I owe $749, and I pay monthly for that. And hopefully when I get a lump sum of money, I will be paying that off entirely. That will probably be the first thing I pay off since it's the smallest debt that I have. So that is for consumer debt. Consumer debt to me is everything but my car and student loans. So let's total up all of these blue numbers to get my total consumer debt. We have $27,762 in credit cards, $5,383 in medical debt, $3,882 in legal debt, $5,225 in IRS debt, and $749 in affirmed debt. So we are looking at a total of $43,001, which is crazy. Like I said, 2 years ago, this was $0. So it is very humbling, and just in the process of forgiving myself for all of the bad decisions I made, because none of this would have happened if I didn't make bad decisions. Now, we're going to take Judah out of it because I'm blessed to have him here. I would never, ever, 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 ever not want him here. But I think that if I just made better financial decisions, I would have not had any of this. So it's all my fault. I'm taking accountability for it because I decided to put my money elsewhere. So that it is what it is. You know, you can't go back. You can't change the past. So that's my consumer debt, $43,001. Just for giggles, we are going to see how much I have left in my car loan and what I have in student loans. Now, I just checked my student loan account, and my loans are deferred until May 2026. So about a year, which I am grateful for. I pray that in a year's time, I could pay off my student loans entirely because I have that much money. But we're not there yet. We will be. But I just want to let you know my debt in totality, right? We don't want to leave this out because it is still debt. It's just not debt that affects your credit significantly. Like student loans isn't affecting my credit at all. And I've never been late on my car payment. So that honestly helps my credit, right? And just before I tell you the number that I owe on my car loan, my interest rate is 3.5%. It's a very, very good interest rate. And honestly, no more than $50 goes towards interest every month on my car loan. And I pay $457 a month. So I am happy with the state of my car loan right now. All right, so for my car loan, I owe $15,214. So I am halfway, more than halfway to paying it off. I believe my car loan was like around $34,000 and that was 3 years ago. So I have that much left, which I think is pretty darn good. Student loans though, y'all, student freaking loans. And most of this is from my graduate degree. $1,000. Oh, I wish. $116,984. Like I mentioned, it's mostly from my graduate degree and it is on deferment, so nothing is due for an entire year. And if it was due, the amount that I would be paying every month is $700 a month. Yeah, so we're happy for that deferment. So let's go ahead and add this $43,001 to these amounts here to get my total debt amount. So consumer debt is $43,001. Child, Lord help me. $43,000 or $43,001 plus $15,214 for my car plus $116,984 in student loan debts. And we are looking at a grand freaking total of $175,199. Why can I say that? $175,199 smack-a-roonies. Okay. Wow. $175,199 in debt, $43,000 in consumer debt. So if I'm being honest, if I pay this $43,000 off, I'm good. I am Gucci. I plan on paying off my car slowly and then riding it until the wheels literally do not fall off, but until I need to get a new car, okay? So I will be very happy with $43,000. Anyway, y'all, that is the end of the video. I hope you enjoyed, and I hope that it gives you some peace to know that you're not alone in this debt payoff journey. And that's really all I gotta say about it. I don't want to go into my soapbox, but anyway, I love y'all. God bless y'all, and I will see you all in my next video. Bye.